Yo, what's up? This mess was crazy today. The defense, I think they handed Cassie her ass today. And again, because we keep forgetting, we keep thinking that it's Diddy versus Cassie. No, this is Diddy versus the federal government. And I had to be reminded that today. So she is just their key witness, but it has nothing to do. This is not a Cassie versus Diddy case. This is, again, against the government. But this case was crazy because they were showing crazy text messages. And I remember yesterday they kept saying that he just wanted her to be a freak off. He just wanted her to be this gutter whore and everything else. And we just kept saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Honey, the defense was going in today. And a lot of the text messages and a lot of the freak offs, guess who started it and initiated it? Cassie. So I was like, and then not to mention, she was dating Ryan Leslie before she dated Diddy, but Ryan Leslie introduced her to Diddy. And then Diddy introduced her to Kid Cudi and was paying for her studio time to be with Kid Cudi. And she started effing Kid Cudi. Not to mention, Diddy started paying for her to work out with the trainer, and she started effing the trainer. So we're gonna get into that right now, and just give us a second. Let's warm up. Wrong one. What the heck? I need my intro.
Yo, talk crazy on tweets. They don't want it cause I come to defeat. They don't want it. I peek, these niggas all sweet. Bamboo sticks all in the Jeep. It's a new weirdo every week. Get the work, put it up for my seeds. No care for the IG, just no care. Anything for clout. They do anything for clout. Do anything for clout. They do anything for clout. Do anything for clout. They do anything for clout. Do anything for clout.
People need to hear this. It's a lot of names on my hit list. Still say what he wants to. Still wet like a big. I should run a whole blog at this rate. They using my name for clickbait. They even wanna start fake beef. Still a little weep in the mixtape. They know I'm the bomb. They ticking me off. Say anything to get a response. I know that mean they traffic is low. Somebody just gotta practice along. So for being tame, they'd rather be wild. This is brandy, they wanna be down. Soon as got something to sell, they say my name, Destiny Child. Everybody wanna be lit. Everybody wanna be rich. Everybody wanna be this. They fuss who out hate me. Read my promise. I'm not all of that talking. I'm calling it out. Public opinions from private accounts.
What's up, guys? Now, if y'all are for the faint, y'all got to get out now because this is going to be sensitive stuff. We are going to be really talking. This is for adults. Get the kids out. Yeah, the kids are out. All right. Let's start. So the defense, so Cassie is on course right now. So that means Diddy's team, his lawyers, is interviewing her. And they have like a whole bunch of text messages because so yesterday, the government, the prosecutors, they were saying, the prosecutors, they had some of the same threads, but they were choosing what they wanted her to read. Now, this time, this is Diddy's defense choosing what they want her to read. So, depending on their narrative is what they're asking her to read. So, they wanted to seem like Diddy loved her also because he put, she was like, do you know he loved you? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, I loved him too. And in my head, I'm just like, what are they trying to remind her that she loved him? Hey, what's up, Detroit Kings? So then I think he said something about a freak off. And Cassie says, I'm always ready to freak off. And then he said, she was like, well, when would you like to freak off? And he's asking, we could do it to the weekend because I know you're busy. And she said, whenever. And then she starts pushing it. She was like, we could do it on a weekday if you need to. And then they was like, yo, could you read this text? And it was like, I guess one day out the blue, she randomly just texted Diddy and said, I can't wait to stare at some big black cock. Yo, it's crazy because I heard people in the class, people in the courtroom was like, because the day before it was completely different. Now you see that she, remember she said she never wanted to do stuff. and it was always him, and he was always on one. So, and then she put, I want the D to be uncontrollable. So, oh no, it's okay, Suburbia. We got a lot more to go because this is it was going. It was going. So they said that the husband was not happy today. They said he was like all flustered, and he's a white guy, so he was completely like red and stuff like that. They said if looks can kill. Yo, y'all gotta listen to Armand Wiggins. I ain't gonna lie. He had me dying because he was like, I don't think she's gonna be with the husband too much longer after this case, because I think the story the husband might have been the story the prosecutors was trying to tell. Cause I was just laughing because I like when people give a story that's not biased, because I want to hear what's going on. I don't want to hear you twisting your opinions and stuff. I just want to hear what the hell happened at court. Hey, Tamika Den, how you doing? He said women lie. So one day, I guess, Diddy text her, and he was like, what are you thinking about? And she was like, being choked by some D. And she didn't just say one D. She said like 2 Ds. Like giving oral and just like choking on it. And she'd be like, Diddy text her. And he'll be like, I'm horny. And she'll text him. She goes, I'm horny too. And then she said, I'm going to just go set up everything. Now, remember, yesterday, what did they say? Nah, y'all going to remember because we're going to replay this back. Yesterday, it was, I never wanted to do it. He forced me to do it. Like, this is a whole different text message. She said, I'll just go get everything set up. So the defense is like, well, why was you setting it up? And she was like, that was the thing to do. So then there was another text message where Cassie was like, I deleted the videos, but they were good. And then Diddy put, well, it's all right because I'm going to do it again. And so the defense is asking her, like, what video did you delete? Like, what was you recording? Because she was recording. She was recording too. And she was like, oh, I don't remember. So the defense, they want to be assholes. And they was like, were you too high to remember what was going on? And she's just like, and you know how somebody's like calling you names or saying something, but they trying to put it over your head. Oh, I guess you were too high then. You don't remember. I'm like, but she said it in a nice way because she was trying, they put a woman on her. So Cassie's saying when she don't want to answer questions, she's like, I don't remember. I don't know exactly what the video that was. I don't know. So random text again, Cassie asking him, do you have any pills? Now there's another text where she put that she missed when it was just her and him. And then they said that she started to hesitate because she was like, I want to be your only girlfriend. And that's funny because she does have a track on her album where it says official girl. I would know that. For some reason, I just thought about that when I heard that. Because she said, I'm tired. I just want to be your official girl. I think I'm going to play that later because I'm going to listen to the words because that sounds pretty much like that. So then she sends him an email of not being happy because Diddy wouldn't make her official. This is before they started dating. they said that Cassie was also jealous of Kim, and they asked her, "Were you jealous of Kim?" And she was like, "You know, a little." And then she was also jealous of her friend. Now, yesterday, remember I said that Diddy came and hit her friend with a hanger, and that's how they stopped talking. The tea really is, because they left out a whole bunch of parts. So the friend did say that Diddy hit her. Cassie wasn't there. She doesn't know what happened or if he hit her or not, nothing. But Diddy was upset because they were doing drugs. He did not want Cassie doing drugs with random people or other people, probably because Cassie was a little loose when she was, getting high and stuff like that. So I guess he walked in, she was getting high with her homegirl. And a lot of times he would tell the drug dealer, stop selling to her. So the friend would bring it over. And so Diddy walked in and he was pissed off because he's like, oh, you doing drugs and stuff like that. Cassie was in the bathroom and they got into a whole altercation, I'm guessing. But Cassie didn't verbally see it because she was like, I didn't say I saw it. And they're like, in the courtroom, they're like, you did say you saw it yesterday. The girl sued Cassie and Diddy. So she sued her best friend. That's why they stopped speaking. I was like, the tea. So she was also upset that it was like they've been dating for 7 years and she was not allowed to go to Christmas or Thanksgiving. That was for Kim Porter, and the kids was there. So she wasn't allowed to be around the family. She wasn't around Christmases. She wasn't around none of that mess. And that's what happened, because she was, his pretty eye candy, jump off, stuff like that. But he wasn't spending family time with her. And that's what happened. It changed because all of these freak offs and stuff, she started like, I want to be, the only one. So, and Diddy was upset because she was seeing high profile celebrities and not regular people, because then it's like high profile. It's like, dude, you can't be, you're embarrassing me now, because now like you dating people that the world know who it is. AKA what? Kid Cudi, Michael B. Jordan. But so this is the defense today. Like, I'm gonna bring it to y'all. This is straight. So when she got with Ryan, right? So when she was with Ryan, she was cheating on Ryan Leslie to be with Diddy. Like, this girl made up a whole flyer and everything, because they wouldn't let them submit evidence before about her like cheating on her exes and all of that stuff. So, but when she was with Diddy, he wanted to take her away, and she was like, I'm gonna try to get away. She created a whole flyer where she had to be at a party or she was like hosting some concert to get away. And pretty much she lied, and she was freaking off with Diddy. No, she was off with Diddy with her birthday. This is before freak offs. And she went away and chilled with Diddy. But yeah, they made up a whole, and they was like, oh, so nice little tattoo. She had Ryan's name tattooed and stuff like that. Because there was also an email where she puts Diddy, I move on too fast and I'm sneaky. And the defense is like, what you meant by that? What you meant by you sneaky? And she didn't want to say again, because I told you when she don't want to say something, she'd be like, I don't remember. I don't remember what the context of it. And he's like, so they're like, maybe because you left Ryan Leslie for Diddy. But she was like, yeah, we wasn't even dating that long, me and Ryan Leslie. They was like, y'all was together for 3 years and you have a tattoo of him. That's not long. She's like, oh, could be. Let me see. So they was like, did you want the tapes to get out for your career? she was like, you were scared of your career, so you didn't want the tapes getting out. And she was like, yeah. She was like, I didn't want the tapes to get out, the sex tapes that they were doing. And she was like, it'd be bad for my career. So they was like, well, did you think that if they found out about the tapes and the freak offs and everything, that it would be bad for Diddy's career? She was like, yeah. She was like, so you knew his career was going to tarnish when you put out the lawsuit. And she was like, yeah. She was like, well, it did crumble. His career was over after that. She was like, I guess you could look at it that way. Okay, so remember yesterday how we was like, what was going on in the freak offs? And she was like, they got to put plastic down and everything else. And they was like, yeah, why did they have to put plastic down? And remember, I was like, it was for like piss and semen and blood. And she was like, blood. She was like, he made me do freak offs on my monthly. So we get a text message. I'm so done. I'm done with these people. So we get a text message. This is Exhibit A. She texted him, I think of you inside of me. And Diddy's like, are you still on your pee? And she's like, but she's still talking because she's like, I loved when you made love. I love when you make love during a freak off. This is what she's writing. So Diddy's like, well, when are you done with your period? She said, I'm planning to skip the period. Let's get our freak on. She said, let's get the freak off. I'm like, I'm still stuck on skip my period. Cause I'm like, how do you do that? I'm like, is that some industry stuff? Or like, what does that mean? I'm so done with this mess. She said, she said, she texted him randomly, another text. They was like, read this text message. Some of the text messages, they said it was so gutter that she couldn't even read. That they was like, we can't even read this in court. They was like, you can read it to yourself, but they had the text messages on the screen talking about, I want balls in my mouth and all of this crazy stuff. It was explicit. I'm laughing because they said that the husband's head was right by the projector. Wait, y'all gotta really look at Ermon Wiggins. I ain't gonna lie, he has me dying. So they was like that the husband's head is right by the screen where it says, I want balls deep and all of this stuff. The text messages are just going to town. And so she writes, I'm starting to fantasize about women or girls. So now she's watching Diddy freak off with other females and she's in the corner. Remember I said Diddy, because she was like, oh, Diddy be in the corner watching me with the guys. The role switch, my. And this is her initiating it. Like, she was down with the get down. So they asked her, they was like, did anybody know, like his assistants and anything about the freak offs? She was like, no, I didn't want nobody to know. See, now they're walking back this whole conspiracy thing, because it's like, if his assistants didn't know these freak offs was going on, what are you talking about? How was everybody in on it? How is everybody in on these cover-ups? You just said nobody, the assistants, and nobody knew. She was like, I didn't want nobody to know. And she was like, she would wear masks and stuff, so nobody even knew. So another random text. She's like, oh, I'm horny and I'm bored. And she texts, I need your D. And apparently Diddy ain't get back. So he didn't get back fast enough. And she's texting him again. Hello, I need your D. And so later on, they would have a freak off. And after the freak off, Cassie texts this man. I love it. I had so much fun during the freak off. Now, back to yesterday. Remember how they was like that she had sores and stuff in her mouth. And we read the text messages because it was weird because Cassie was apologizing to him. And we're like, why was she apologizing to him? Because he forced her to do these freak offs and stuff. She apologized because she was down with the freak offs, not because she was being forced. But they wasn't a toxic, abusive relationship. That mess was like Ike and Tina, no lie. But they both was like, it was like Ike and Tina, Bobby and Whitney, like they were just high. You know what I mean? And then they understand, and Cassie talking about, yeah, Diddy was a great man. He's inspiring. And they was, she was saying a whole bunch of good stuff about Diddy. She was like, oh, he inspired me. He did this, he did that. And they was like that the Sons was in there, like, and Diddy was in there. And they said Diddy was in there, like, passing messages to the lawyers. They said the husband was not fucking happy. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The husband sitting there. Then they got the text messages going on beside the husband's head, gargling balls and stuff like that. Cassie was, hey, what's up, OT? The only videos being used in courtrooms are the ones that Cassie recorded with her phone and the ones that she has on her laptop. Like I said, they couldn't read some of the messages out loud. So they're painting Diddy like he's, they was like, what was Diddy addicted to? And she put success. And they was like, what kind of drugs was Diddy addicted to? And then she was saying, she was like, his drug of choice, he liked ecstasy. He was on all these other drugs. So she was like, they both tried to get help. They both tried to go through withdrawals. And they was asking her, like, what would it be like when you tried to withdraw? And she was like, I would black out. I wouldn't be myself. I would be irritated, aggravated, violent. And they was like, well, wasn't Diddy the same way when he pulled back his dosage? And she was like, yeah. So that's what they painting now. The judge and the defense, they go at it because the defense is taking time. Of course, they had all these text messages they put in at the last minute, and they had like 400 pieces of evidence, and the judge is pissed off. He's like, come on, this is ridiculous. Y'all can't just sit there and bomb us with all of these text messages. This girl got to get out of here by Friday. They was like, well, we might need more time. We might need till Monday. They was like, this girl got to go into labor soon. So they were going back and forth with that. So then they told her to read another text message, and she said, I love a freak off when we both want it. And so Diddy says, see if Jules is available if you want. Because remember, this goes back to their defense where it's like he always wanted the freak off. She didn't want the freak offs. Now he's like, but you see him texting like, see if Jules is available if you want to. And then she goes, love you, Pop Pop. I want us to have a night. Do I have your permission? So she's asking him for permission to set it up. So yeah, now they asked her about her being jealous of Kim Porter, but then she said yes. So now she was pissed off when he got with this girl, Gina Hunt, because she thought that Cassie thought that she was number one and Kim Porter was number two. So they're like, well, where the hell did Gina Hun come from? So this is another text message where Diddy texts her, let's do something different. Let's go see a Broadway play. And then he was like, a escort hit me up. Which one? What do you want to do? So then she said, randomly, Diddy, I'm horny. So then they asked Cassie, can she read something? And she said, well, y'all skipping stuff. She was like, they was like, should I skip with y'all, or do you want to read us? Do you want me to read it in full? They was like, nah, where we're putting it is fine. So she's reading and she goes, Diddy, I miss you. I miss you. Diddy texts her, I miss you. And she goes, I miss that D. She was like, are you horny or are you sleepy? And then she texts him, you want to have a freak off? And he said, I thought it was tomorrow. She said, I'm going to the pool. I wish we could have had a freak off. So now here is where it starts getting messy. Diddy introduced her to Kid Cudi. So he was paying for her studio sessions. Cassie bought an extra burner phone so that she can contact Kid Cudi without Diddy knowing that. So yeah, he's paying them, and Kid Cudi's sleeping with Cassie, and he didn't know that, and he's paying for her sessions in the studio with this man. So they're saying, of course, not of course, because domestic violence is not acceptable at all. But this is what he went into a rage. So they made it seem like yesterday that they were on breaks and stuff like that, but he was literally paying for her studio time. And again, he was mad because she was dating other high-profile celebrities and not randoms, like, not somebody else that wasn't high profile, because that was embarrassing to his image. So she went to Africa and she was filming for 2 months. So that lets you know that she wasn't all this trap. She was away from him in Africa for like 2 months filming. And she saw the video of Diddy and Gina Hun. That's when she started talking to Michael B. Jordan and flirting with him and stuff like that. They would call each other the Get High partners. And then I told y'all Diddy didn't want her doing drugs with anybody else besides him. And he would go to the drug dealers so that they wouldn't sell to her. The night that they had the fight, remember the dress that I showed y'all with her in the gold dress and stuff like that? So they were the premiere, that big fight that I said that they had. Apparently, she stole Diddy drugs and he went into like a fit. Because where's my drugs? Where's my drugs? He couldn't get it. He couldn't get high. He thinks that she stole it, and she's high, and he's not. And that was a whole Bobby Whitney, Ike and Tina situation going on. He looking for his drugs, and she stole it, or he thinks she stole it. We don't know if she stole it or not, but that's what the fight was over. In 2012, I did not know this, but Diddy overdosed at the Playboy Mansion after a freak off. Okay, and then towards the end, we're going with her husband, Diddy was enraged and pissed off because he keeps saying, I want my money. I want my money. He was paying a personal trainer to train Cassie, and Cassie was sleeping with the trainer, which is her husband right now. So he's like, so I've been paying for all these sessions and you've been effing him. And that's who she left with and ended up getting married. Now, when she was dating her husband, it came out her and Diddy she was cheating on her husband with Diddy and still sleeping and doing freak offs with Diddy. That's why when we was like, what do you mean y'all had sex another time after you were dating the husband and stuff like that? They got text messages. She was still doing freak offs while she was with her husband and she was still sleeping with Diddy. You're right. You're right. Yeah, we gonna see how long they be together after this trial. Yo, now I know why they say court be breaking families up, because this is crazy. Because you can't really lie on the stand. Yeah, I think the defense might have got to her today. This sounds pretty crazy. Tell me what y'all think. Let me see. Diddy was like, so Diddy was like, yo, I think we need to slow down. I don't want to get caught up in the matrix, because she was dating this guy who's now her husband, and they would do a freak offs and stuff. And he's like, I don't want to get caught up and thinking, and get like, I guess maybe addicted to this mess again with her and stuff like that. And she was like, nah, it's okay. It's cool. It's all right. Wow. So those were my notes. Based on the text messages that I was reading today, you gotta understand, when those text messages be coming out, them things be going crazy. Everybody be like, and I be looking on Twitter with the guy, and then I wait for Armand Wiggins, because he's like not biased. Like if it's Team Cassie that night, then it's Team Cassie. If it was Team Diddy, it was Team Diddy. I can't watch people that are just like so biased that every few seconds, oh no, because this happened. No, because I just want to hear what happened. That's it. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, Stephen Harris, how you doing? I'm about done now. It says she turned on Diddy. Well, they fixing to say that this is the defense, and they did a good job today. They did a pretty good job. They're saying that she was jealous of the way she was being treated, because, to be honest, based on like the messages and the way she acted today, because she was on the stand and sometimes she was just giggling, and I'm like, what the fuck she giggling for? We mad at Diddy. Diddy done did all of this stuff to you. She's reminiscing and she's laughing and shit, and her husband is sitting there and she's like, yeah, Diddy was a good guy. He's really suave and all of this. And I'm like, oh wait, I need the suspense button. I don't know where it's at. I don't even know if I have the suspense up here. Oh, and I'm like, are we supposed to be mad at Diddy because this is the energy we had yesterday? It was a whole different thing. It was a whole different thing. Ooh. Oh, but that's not even it. I don't know what happened to my notes, but I didn't see it in here. She said she can't wait to do a freak off raw. Remember yesterday? He made me do freak offs. We couldn't wear protection. She texted him, I can't wait to have a freak off raw. They were setting us up because they knew these text messages was gonna come out, and that's why they was trying to like get in front of them, and they were like saying certain things. But wait till y'all hear the Breakfast Club yesterday, because Lauren LaRosa, she asked the attorney, she was like, Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Hold on one second. I'm gonna try to pull it up. She asked the attorney. She was like, I think the defense might have taken a hit today. Let me see. One second. And this was the girl from the Breakfast. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I'm so sorry, y'all. Because I want to play the clip. Because Lauren LaRosa even asked Cassie's lawyer. She was like, she didn't want to spring Christmases and all of that stuff. She was like, do you feel like the defense is did y'all take a loss today? And he was like, no. But I'm like, hold on. Let me share this real quick. It's a clip.
Hopefully that is tomorrow, and be done by the end of the week and put this entire chapter of her life behind.
How's she holding up with the pregnancy?
She's doing as best as she can. She's obviously, tired as you would expect.
I feel like today's testimony was Cassie gave an excuse and kept talking about the withdrawals from the drug abuse. Was she?
Oh no, I mean, look, I don't know that. I don't think there's a legal defense to this case based on his drug use. So I'm not really sure what.
Diddy's team felt a little more excited today, though. Like they had a win today.
Oh, well, okay. Well, it's not really up to what Diddy's team thinks. It's not up to what I think. Actually, it's what the jury thinks. And,
Do you think Diddy feels any shame at all?
So,
I don't know what he's thinking.
I saw Cassie touching her back and stretching and breathing like how her husband is currently feeling.
I mean, I said it yesterday. If you were in his shoes, I think this is difficult for him
Lauren
to watch.
LaRosa gonna ask it right now.
What about the whole Suge Knight thing? Her saying that Diddy and his friends went without her and then they brought it back that she said she went with them. Can that be damning?
And they're trying to confuse the jury. I think that's just a minor point that unfortunately somebody got wrong when she was being interviewed. She didn't review those notes or anything like that. I think the one thing about her testimony really is there's no credibility issues with her. The facts are the facts. She's telling them as they are, her truth, and they are what they are. This is not a typical cross-examination. There's no issues with her credibility. It's a testament to her.
Do you feel like they made her not as a young girl who didn't know what she was getting herself into, but someone who said okay to things? With that text messages that showed her saying it is what it is, and I'm okay with that. When they talked about Kim Porter and her being okay with not being able to spend holidays with his family, setting up that there was like a jealous
I have
situation.
no idea what you're asking. But
so I'm asking you talked about her credibility, right? Yeah. I feel like yesterday made her seem, we empathized with her yesterday. Today, we're seeing that there may have been almost like a motive to her anger, her upset, which resulted in the lawsuit and where we are today.
No, I mean, the facts are the facts, the text are the text. It's the facts are the facts, the texts are the texts, and I think that the evidence will be clear as the case goes on and Cassie's testimony goes on, and we'll see what the jury does.
They have to prove.
Okay, so yeah, that was pretty much like watch when they do the Breakfast Club tomorrow, because I guess she felt the same way. She was like, I don't know, but yo, real quick, because I left one text out. I don't know why this wasn't in my notes, but she randomly sent him a text and was like, yo, I want my legs behind my head and I want to take some big BBC, up my cooch. Just random text messages. So yeah, they totally flipped the script, and it's crazy. Oh yeah, OT. Yes, Diddy had text her. I forgot. Damn, OT, you be on it. Diddy had text her and was like, I sent you a package or whatever through the mail. Like he would just send her gifts and stuff like that. So yeah, whatever the feds painted yesterday, it's not what we got today. We got like she was willing and all of that stuff. And to me, it sounds like yes, it was definitely domestic violence in there. They both were like definitely toxic too, but he definitely was beating her. And it was given willing and I am a freak off. And this is what we like, daddy. That's what it was given. And like, I'm just as bad as you. Like we two peas in a pod. Cause yo, it was another text. Matter of fact, it was a whole nother text where in the text message she decided she came up with this whole thing where we're gonna role play. And she was like, you better not come out of character for 10 hours. And everybody was like, because I looked at the tweet, they was like, we gonna do this for 10 hours. And she telling him, like, she's schooling him, like, better not break character. Dude, when you better get ready. Tonight we gonna have fun and you better not break character. 10 hours. Yeah, I'm just telling it as it is, like non-biased. OT said Diddy got 9 super lawyers. He got the lawyers and the prosecutors got a dream team too. So it is lawyers against lawyers at this point. But again, because I almost forgot too, the case is not Diddy versus Cassie. Cassie already got her lawsuit and stuff. It is Diddy versus the federal government. That is what the case is. She is just a star witness, but this is not her case. So the other case, this is just one of the witnesses of their RICO case that they're putting together for Diddy. So it is Diddy versus the federal government, not Diddy versus Cassie. Anyway, on that note, whatever anybody else got something to say, because we about to be out, but I had fun. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe. Anyway, it is Amina Seen It, guys. And thank you for hanging out with me because I had fun. See y'all guys. Oh, we got Raising Canaan tonight. It's going to be fun. Ow. Oh my God. It's going to be so crazy. Look at Unique. Look, now I'm jumping to Unique's telling Lulu that rock bouncing on her D. I said, what? I'll see you guys tonight, actually. Detroit Kings probably left. But yeah, I'm going to try to set my alarm clock and jump on the podcast with y'all guys tonight. Aubrey O'Day is coming. She hates Diddy. Yeah, it's Power Raising Canaan season finale. Ooh. I know who's coming tomorrow. I think they said, who's coming in tomorrow? Dawn Richardson from Dirty Money. I want to see that one. That's going to be crazy too. We got this is going to be what, a month and a half of this BS. I'm going to be tired. Yeah, I'm sure everybody going live tonight. Oh, for Raising Canaan or just for Diddy? Anyway, guys, I love you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow. Take care.